Good morning. It is April the 13th, 2025. And I'm just being with my own thoughts this morning after talking with a friend about their very hard childhood, the brutalization, the abuse, the neglect. And I don't want to bring it forward in the context of that we are broken or need healing, or that there's anything wrong with us. I want to take a bit of a neutral approach, because we can re-traumatize ourselves if we approach it from the umbrella of there being something wrong with us, right? The word wrong carries such a judgment and condemnation that we shrink from it. Everything in us shrinks from the judgment and criticism of being wrong, right? When you consider it just from a single lifetime, and that we are new to this earth experience when we come in, and let's say these things are happening to us for the very first time. My reaction is good grief, right? Nobody should ever have to endure these things from other wounded people. And usually I'm talking about our parents who carried over generational wounding and then unleash it on the generation of their children. But like I say, if we can step away from the history for a moment and step outside of ourselves and see it from arriving on this planet into this experience for the very first time as a new experience, all we can say is good grief. What planet is this that we just arrived into? This planet needs a lot of work. Humanity needs a lot of work. Again, I'm not coming at it from the angle of condemnation. We inherit these things from our unconscious or subconscious realm. And then we are left here without the tools to fix it, right? The tools only come to us very slowly and collectively. It's like a puzzle that we have to solve together. So my point in my thoughts here is that we can't really approach it from the cognitive realm of right and wrong. We had things foisted upon us that blindsided us, out of left field. And now we are here to try and live with the consequences and pick up the pieces. And handle the fallout. And it's the greatest challenge. it's a super great challenge for humanity, and that includes the worst kind of person to the best kind of person. It really is a collaboration. It really is a collective challenge that we have to solve together. And again, I want to come from the consciousness that it's neither right nor wrong. It's brutal. Yes, it's brutal in many cases. And I think we're here to understand ourselves through the experiences and learn ourselves, know ourselves. At every possible level. So, as you seek to heal yourself, as you seek to understand yourself, do not condemn yourself for how you might be acting and behaving in life towards other people. This is a very hostile boot camp. And it's hard to open your heart in a hostile environment, right? If you grew up in a hostile home as a child, your ability to trust has basically been squashed. You will not trust others, but neither will you trust yourself. And this is the angle of where you have to enter into the relationship of knowing yourself, relationship with yourself. I think we've got it wrong, we misplaced the relationship aspect when we say we need to have a relationship with God. What we really perhaps meant but didn't have the language for is that we have to build a relationship with ourselves, right? With the soul fragments that have got lost. With the soul fragments that have got lost in the environment of brutality, things that we have shut down, and that have left gaps in our experience. So, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, about the relationship with God. It is a misplaced focus that we entertain because we're responding to an unconscious part of ourselves that we are missing. We are missing something within ourselves, a soul fragment within ourselves, the trust factor of feeling safe within ourselves, because that has been robbed from us by the environment that we grew up in. So we're seeking for safety, and we called it God, a relationship with God. But really it's that we are lacking and missing the relationship to that soul aspect that we have lost through the trauma. And we called those unconscious aspects God because we don't know ourselves. We don't know that they are aspects of our psyche. We don't know that they're aspects of our soul. And so we named it God. My point is really, it was always meant to be that you enter into a relationship with yourself and find these lost soul aspects. And soul is that ambiguous part of us that we call God, right? So, like I told my friend who said that their ability to trust and open up and to feel has died, because the environment in which they grew up did not permit them to feel pain. So they had to shut down that aspect of them. They had to shut down the ability to feel, to the point where they say they think it's killed, it's dead. But it's not dead. There can always be a resurrection. And it just takes a soul whisperer, and you are the soul whisperer, that will talk kindly to that aspect, that lost aspect of yourself, because you have to regain your own trust. Your inner child has to know and sense that it can trust your adult self. Will you bring justice? Will you bring justification, not revenge, but justice? Will you acknowledge your pain? Right? So your inner child is waiting for that acknowledgement. Or will you gaslight yourself, and will you unconsciously pretend like that pain was not real? Because to show feeling and to show pain translates to being weak and vulnerable, which you don't want to be. So, I'm sorry this is getting long, but it's kind of hard to articulate these unseen aspects. So, your inner child is waiting for your acknowledgement of justice, which basically would sound like, yes, you were brutalized. Yes, you were hurt. Yes, you were harmed. And it is despicable. And the people who have done this have done you wrong. That is what our inner child is waiting to hear, right? Not the fact that you numbed yourself out and you shut down and you don't allow yourself to feel that pain. And so until we do that, there is a distrust of ourselves. The child part of ourselves, the child psyche, distrusts our adult self, our grown self, until we acknowledge what happened. Until we can acknowledge that having those feelings, feeling the pain, is okay, right? So I hope this makes sense. This is like weaving the tissue to the cells in a womb, like it's in the invisible space of consciousness, where psyche and mind are woven together as one cloth. And like I say, it's difficult to articulate these unseen principles, but it's the feeling part and the understanding part that have to come together in compassion and empathy. So I hope this makes sense. I feel for all the abandoned and distant child parts. I see you and I hear you.